I saw this video that was breaking down how so much of what JD Vance does is him. It's almost like how it is with comedy right now. It's like him trying to get like a cool clip that like 12-year-old incels can edit. Where
that's so true.
Where, you know, just like him on a talk show, like, I think gay people shouldn't exist.
He tried to make a joke about how Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I just like Mountain Dew. I'm not gay or something like that. Like some correlation where he was just like, I got to figure out a way to put down homosexuals.
Yeah.
There's no fighting that.
Yeah.
But I also love Mountain Dew. And he just made this dumb thing.
Yeah.
And it got a titter, but a laugh. And he's like, I love you guys.
Yeah. What else?
Did that fucking, what else?
What else?
What else is going on? Where's my notepad?
Yeah. Now, anytime he tries to make a joke, I remember during the election when he said something about crazy cat ladies, and then he was interviewed about it, and he was like, yeah, I apologize to cats. And it's just like, you have negative charisma.
No. I apologize to cats. And
you know he was so excited to say that too.
I ate on that one.
Yeah. Got him.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Let me cook.
Yeah.
Nobody says that, JD. Nobody says that about themselves. Welcome to Tank Top Talks with Matt Braunger. I'm your host, Matt Braunger. Tank tops are ridiculous, but they feel good. And the reason why they feel good is because they're ridiculous. Drew Landry, let's talk about your tank.
I think it's pretty old. I've had this for a while. I went through a phase in I want to say 2021 where I was just wearing tank tops all the time.
Nice.
It's not a phase I'm proud of, but for some reason post-COVID, I was like, I'm a tank top guy now.
There you
I
go.
just randomly made that decision.
That's
I grew
great.
out of it, but so I got a handful of these just laying around.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just had a guest, Daniel Van Kirk on, and he lost his only tank top. So he just wore like a zip up vest. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
fine.
good enough.
That's fine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love it. So you were wearing like tank tops with like pants?
Yeah, with like sweatpants or shorts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never worn a tank top with jeans. It makes me feel very kind of like tough, like low level mafia guy.
Well, that's the inspiration for it are like those guys in like Roadhouse.
Oh,
They
yeah,
just sit
exactly.
around wearing, that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a very specific vibe that comes with that look.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hard one to pull off.
Yeah, very hard to pull off. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Maryland originally.
Okay. All right. How long have you been in LA?
About 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's like, to get a little background, Drew's a very funny comic, and like you're a writer, dude. Like your jokes are so well written.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You can fuck yourself. No, but it's like your tweets, your posts. You'll just do 5 in a row of like threads. Always just killer about stuff that's just come out.
Yeah,
I was really proud. That I did a show, the Improv last week, and was just talking about, I was thinking about, getting some home defense, like a 30-06 or a shotgun or whatever. But now I just realized, no, I just need a ballroom to go around.
Yeah.
And that hit. And then the guy who was headlining the show was like, fuck, you write fast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't usually, I don't usually have something that's of the headlines.
And
like that.
when that happens, it's a good feeling, but it's a frustrating feeling because especially right now, everything moves so fast where it's like, this will only work for a few days.
Yeah, like just tossing the stupidest joke out I would never even say on stage. But I was like, well, like, there's pre-gaming, like you drink before the bar. And there's Pete gaming, where you drink before the pre-game. Pete Hegseth does that for like the dumbest. But like, it's just here and gone.
Oh,
like,
yeah, exactly.
We pretty much have forgotten that guy's a full-blown semi-functional alcoholic.
1,000 things have happened since. Yeah.
It's just hard to
It's
keep
wild.
up. How do you manage that as a do you when you're doing this your act is a lot of topical stuff?
My stand-up usually isn't topical just because like I said, it's like for me, it takes me so long to kind of like crack a joke and perfect it. So when it's a topical stand-up bit, you really get it down. It's perfect now. And now it's not relevant at all.
Yeah.
So my stand-up isn't as topical as my posts are.
Okay.
Yeah. The posts are very kind of, stream of conscious, just, farting out random thoughts.
Sure. But I was like, I feel like you could do those, in your act.
Oh, yeah. And I do sometimes for sure. Okay. For like the week or so that they're relevant. If they're relevant, I definitely say them on stage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's right on. How long have you been doing stand-up?
I've been doing it, let's see, since I was 13. So
Jesus.
Yeah, a while, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't start doing it regularly on a frequent basis till I was like 16 or 17.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm trying to...
Still, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Clubs were letting you get up on stage?
Bars and clubs were letting me on stage when I was 16, as long as if I didn't drink, and it would help if I brought a parent with me.
Okay.
So my mom would be at a lot of my shows. My mom would come to like these dive bar open mics.
We gotta get into that. Yeah. She would just come along?
She would. She loved it.
Okay, that's great.
It was fun. It was a fun time.
That's cool. That's awesome. Like, are you folks still together?
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah.
Okay. So dad would never go?
He would. My dad has this weird thing where and it's in a loving way, he gets nervous to watch me do stand-up. He like gets nervous on my behalf.
I get that.
But he was in LA in December and came to a show. So he does support. I'm lucky. Both my parents are super supportive.
Dude, I think every comedian's parents have a good couple years of fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Is it going to be good? Is it going to, is this going to work out? I remember my mom, when I'll never forget when she was like visibly relieved when she was like, he's going to be okay.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
When I was younger. Because, of course.
How long into it was that?
Probably, I was doing it when I was in Chicago. She knew I was messing around with it. And I wasn't doing a lot of acting. She saw me do improv, and that was my parents were kind of like, oh, that was a great show.
Oh, okay.
So it was like we were like doing Heralds. So it was like I'd been doing it a couple years, and then when I moved to LA, and then you start booking jobs, and you get like spots on shows and stuff. And I remember my mom was a huge John Oliver fan. Who isn't? But I got to do his New York stand-up show that was on Showtime. I don't know, one of them. You know what I mean? Where you're just he's hosting and he's bringing everybody up and stuff like that.
So it gives it legitimacy. Like this is working out.
Exactly.
Don't worry. Yeah,
you've been vouched for.
Exactly. Exactly.
Did you have something like that with your folks?
I had a few just names I toured with. So back in 2011, I toured with, and I know this is a loaded name for people, but Carlos Mencia. I toured with him right after high school, and that gave it a lot of legitimacy. Then I toured with Eliza Schlesinger in my early mid-20s, and then that gave it more legitimacy.
Yeah, I was just, my wife reps Eliza, and the world is that big.
Yeah.
We were just in Vegas because she played the Venetian.
Oh,
and
nice.
I just kind of tagged along.
Oh,
like
dude,
a couple
she's the
friends.
best.
She's so good.
Yeah, she's helped me so much.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, she's awesome, and like nobody works harder. It's one of those things
she
where
works her ass off.
It's almost
she has a new hour every 2 weeks. It's crazy.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So little victories like that. Last year, I put out a special, and it was my first special that was like, for lack of a better way, like legit. It was professional. Like, the producers approached me. It was these guys, super nice guys. They did Dana's special. Yeah. I think they just put out Patton's new special. And then that definitely was another kind of benchmark. Like, look, we put out a special that I didn't pay for. And that was definitely another thing. I mean, they've been supportive the whole time. Sure. But it's still nice to give them reasons to be supportive. Yeah. To give them, a win.
And to get chosen is nice.
Exactly.
Like to be approached.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Because we've all been through the thing of just like, well, you got to make your own stuff.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah.
The amount of times I've had like the last two, I think I did the special, and it's like, well, this, like, I went from like Big Dumb Animal sold to Netflix and another platform. And it was like, they just paired off, like, oh, Netflix have it for this long and this one have it this year, and you're just like, fucking, let's go.
That's a great
I feel
feeling.
amazing. But then from after that, it was like, okay, more and more platforms going for bigger and bigger names.
Oh,
so it's just like, it goes out, and it's like, well, no bites, but and you're like, and it's just how it works.
Yeah.
And in the end, it was maybe a better thing. Like I was just talking with somebody about, like, the thing of like the give and take, the good and the bad of getting a Netflix special. It's like, yeah, wow, Netflix special, cool, you've been anointed, but then, it got buried.
Oh yeah.
because so-and-so's came out the next day.
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever. And it's
totally,
like,
yeah.
people just look at the grid. And
Well,
that
and there's so many Netflix specials
many,
now
yeah.
where you can have one and it comes and goes if you're not a big name, which is unfortunate.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, but that'll happen.
Yeah. Do you do any writing besides for stand-up? Or
I've written
like,
for
just
websites.
For people, I'm like, Drew and I, have we met before?
We met very briefly in, I want to say 2021 or 2 at Dana Gould's birthday party.
Yes.
A surprise party.
That's it.
So we met very briefly then. Yeah. And I told you how much I watched Big Dumb Animal during the pandemic. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so I'm still digging in. It's one of those things where I always have like a little list of people that I want to have on the show, and Drew is on it just because like, you're not the most famous guy. No offense. Don't get mad. Don't leave. Damn it! I told you he's gonna fucking leave. I said this guy's an ass. No, but it's like I want just interesting people. It can't all be comedians, but it's like, but it also, if we're gonna have comedians, it can't all be these fucking big names, because it's just, I like how no shade, but I like how Subway Takes was. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Where it just
before they had stars,
some rando.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to know this
Giving
guy's
their hot
take or this
take.
gal's take. So it's like, I want this to work for the people that I might know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, in their lives. It's like, wait, I saw you, and like, not that we'll have that kind of platform, but you
might.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's like you're just someone who's like career I follow just because like your jokes are so good, like you're just a funny guy. So it's like that's legit great.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I really, really love like when someone can just write a perfect, it's really fun to be like in a green room with a bunch of comics, and then we see someone do a joke and we're like, oh, fuck you.
Oh, yeah. I wish I came up with
Damn
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Such a beautiful, frustrating feeling.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. But it's glorious at the same time. Yeah. So like, yeah. So only for stand-up, or you written?
So in the past, I wrote for a rap website for a few years called DJ Booth, and I wrote their humor section. So it was like satire articles about rap. And I got that because I write a lot of articles. I haven't in a while, but for Medium, which is kind of like Substack. It's like YouTube for writing.
Well, like, did you know about Ego Trip, the magazine?
No.
Back when, okay, so Ego Trip was, to my mind, the best hip hop magazine of all time. It was, I think it was out of the Bay, because it was very much talking about the same rappers everybody was talking about, but it had no sacred cows.
Oh,
it was like,
yeah.
It was very funny and shit like that. Were you doing something like that?
Oh,
like
yeah,
kind of
definitely.
freely?
So I got that because I had been writing a lot of rap adjacent articles for Medium that were humorous. And I wrote one that went viral and kind of became a meme in 2016 called I have a theory that Donald Glover and Childish Gambino are secretly the same person. And that got like millions of views, and that got me on this site's radar. And they asked me if I wanted to come on and create a humor section for their site.
That's
so it was
great.
super, super niche, and it was my favorite writing job I've had. I wrote for a site called Total Frat Move for a few years. It was a frat boy website. It was under a fake name because I'm not a frat boy. It's not really my personality.
Sure.
So that was under an alias. And then I wrote for their sister site, Total Sorority Move, under another alias.
You wrote for that one too?
Yeah.
Did you write as a woman?
I wrote I never said what my gender was. I wrote it under a fake name. So I never said I was a woman. I'm sure they assumed I was.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really funny. That makes me think of like all the different editorials back in the day for like The Onion.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it'd just be like, there's that, just in terms of you write for this character.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I'm sure you had the character for
exactly.
Character for the Total Frat Movie.
Total Frat Movie was interesting. My character's name, it was Wally Brighton, which I got from the movie Tusk. That's Justin Long's character in Tusk. But I don't know how it happened, but I almost immediately became the most hated writer on the site by the fan base.
That's great.
So I kind of just played into that and started writing stuff that I knew would make the readers mad.
I love it.
But my bosses were for it. They liked it.
Of course.
I would write stuff that seemed like it was going to be kind of frat bro-y. And then it wasn't. Like I wrote 10 signs she needs the D. And then you read it and it's like she she spells the Dark Knight the Ark Knight. It's like a list of typos with no D. And it got like hundreds of livid comments. Like, fuck you. I thought this was going to be
Jokes.
serious.
Yeah, I thought this teach me how girls are going to want to fuck me.
Yeah. So it was a lot of stuff like that.
That's great.
A lot of what is now called rage bait.
Yeah. Well, like do you know Phil Hendry at all?
The name rings a bell.
Okay. Well, he is a radio genius, and he did like a comedy festival, and everybody like Larry David and all these people were like watching him in the booth and going, how does he do that? Because he can carry on a conversation with like 4 characters. He can do all these voices, and you think it's people arguing and so he'd do a radio show, and it spun off into all this different. He has all these different characters, but all of them make people mad in some way. So there's like a woman who thinks if a woman has had a mastectomy, she's not a real woman anymore. and just what she's like at a country club. And I dance with the husbands, and they don't have anyone because their wives have had mastectomies, which means they're not women. Come on, I wouldn't say that. No, it's true. You know what he's doing? He's doing the guy. He's doing Phil, who's like, but he's talking. He has these guests on, and it's never a person.
That's unbelievable.
And he can do all these voices. And what he would do is he would have this, call in if you want to talk or debate. If you have a problem with anything she said, because I certainly do. I don't think that's true. I think a woman who's had a mistake, that's still a woman. And then a woman would come in and just fucking scream at her, and she'd be like, well, are you not a woman? And you're like just going off on this person. And he'd just put this radio, this number on late night. And people would just be driving and go, back in the day, and be like, I'm going to call it. And there was like a guy who didn't think Michael Jackson should be prosecuted for, even if he's found guilty of like molesting a child, because he's black and black people have been through so much. And so you had all these black people calling in and going, that's wrong. And as the guy's yelling at him, he's like, no, I understand the black experience. I've seen I'm going to get you sucker 7 times. Shit like stuff like, so you're list and you're fucking crying going, oh my God, this is too fucking much. But it's this perfect kind of rage bait.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's so good. But I like the whole conflict economy we have now. Oh yeah, where it's just posting the dumbest fucking thing.
That's so much of social media.
Yeah, but that's when it kind of jumped the shark for me. Like, that's funny, writing these articles.
But now you scroll Twitter or Threads or whatever, and it's these verified accounts saying heinous things, knowing that you'll quote post it to dunk on them.
And you're giving them, you're writing them checks.
Yeah, you are. Engagement. Yeah, it's very dystopian.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate that shit. And but anyway, like Phil doing that stuff.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And the amount of thinking on your feet that takes.
Oh God. Yeah, I guess he can just make it up. He'll just come up with a character, and then because he can breathe between the words.
Yeah.
And
wow.
I don't know how he does, but you listen to it. You should like Google it and just have like,
what's his last name?
Hendry.
Hendry. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta look. There's a documentary about him. He's absolutely brilliant, but that's the best kind of version of that. So like, I kind of love that you're just this androgynous person attracting hate for that.
Oddly enough, the sorority website, the comments were never mean. They were very nice. The frat boy website, like the comments were exactly what you're picturing.
Sure,
that
of course.
makes sense.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of them live up to that. They're not all like that.
Obviously not all of them, but
not all frat boys.
Yeah.
But at the same time.
Hashtag not all frat boys.
But at the same time, there are those ones that, boy, do they lean
very
in.
cliche.
Yeah,
yes.
typical.
And the readers for this, the people that love this site enough to comment every day, they were very much the cliche frat boy that you're imagining.
Well, and they're like, that's not why I come here. Mm-hmm. It's almost like when someone writes on your, I love when people write, they're representing your followers.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like a clip of stand up, and it's just like, hey, we don't come here for this.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you specifically don't.
The king of people that like me?
The king of Braunger Nation.
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah. Where like Caleb Huron had that, where he said someone wrote on his thing, like, guys, this guy looks like he broke. It was like, guys, this guy looks like he broke into the pie factory and ate all the pies. Like, guys. And Caleb was like, I'll shoot you with a gun.
Yeah.
I'm literally recreating his like viral interview. Yeah. But like, that was like, the funniest thing of all of that is not the stupid fat joke or even him kill you with a gun is fucking hilarious. That takes the silver. But the funniest to me is the guys. Like
Yeah,
who is
guys.
he talking to?
Yeah, guys.
I don't know if you know.
Like
this.
he's got a crowd of people behind him, and he's like, you know what? Someone's got to say something.
Yeah, they're
I'll be
behind
the
him.
one.
You said it, Biff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you ever in a frat?
I was not. I went
Okay.
to a lot of frat parties, but
Yeah,
no,
I've
I
been
was
to a
never.
few.
I was never in a frat.
Okay.
But no, my a friend of mine wrote for the sorority site and kind of just offered me a job at
That's
the frat
great.
site.
I
And
love
yeah,
that.
and it was. I mean, it was a blast to write for.
That sounds fun. I miss having jobs like that. I did like I did a recap of every Game of Thrones of the last season, and I would write it watching it, and I never, like, I knew some of their names, other ones I just make up, and people would just write in and be like, stop calling him that. You know what I mean? I call somebody like Aryan Joe or something like that. So he's so white, and like, you know, just like I don't, you know, and then the guy and the blah, 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 you know, and some people really dug it because it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I can type really fast. I can type like while I'm watching the show, like through the top.
Oh,
and, like, but it was like a fun job because I would just like stenographer the whole episode.
I feel like the 2010s were kind of the golden age of that kind of content.
That's exactly when.
There's not that much. That type of work is not as
No, you're
plentiful.
not going to get a check.
No.
You're going to have to build a following, and then
You're gonna have to. Yes,
yeah,
that's
then
where Substack
people-
comes in.
Exactly,
Stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. I think I just need to give myself assignments like that again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know why.
Oh,
I'm like,
even if it's for mental health
so-
reasons, just to like keep on track.
I'm so friggin' stuck as in servant mode. I'm like, is someone going to find me and tell me what to write?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
I'm so lost. You know?
Yeah, I get you need structure. I get that. Yeah. No, that's the nice thing about, you know, writing for a site or something is it gives you the structure of the boss tells you to do this or you ask the boss. It makes it gets rid of writer's block when it's your job. In my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it's especially like your job is not, hey, go like I had all like a lot of friends. There was this rush at a certain point where they were like just giving all these comedians, you know, mostly semi-known ones, book deals because get their unique perspective and stuff. And so many of them were like, I don't know what the fuck to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds overwhelming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anytime I see a book someone wrote about their life, I'm like, how?
I don't know if my life is interesting enough for 200 pages of readable stuff.
Well, then how do you remember all that?
Yeah.
And like, how do, you know, other people are a part of these stories. They read it and they're like, that's not
That
what
is
happened.
not what happened at all.
You were not that cool.
Yeah.
You didn't do that, you know?
Yeah, when you read a memoir and you're like, it did not go down
no
like
way it
this.
went
There's
like that.
no way it went down like this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of them have ghostwriters.
Sure.
Because I mean, like I remember like when the Jersey Shore people all had 300-page memoirs. I'm like, they did not sit down and write those.
No. Yeah. And God, imagine being that guy. Okay, can you?
I gotta write a Snooki memoir today.
Just having to, and she canceled again.
Yeah.
Just having to talk to you're the middleman between the publisher.
Oh,
and her.
yeah. Just trying to get any details you can.
She won't call me back. She's hungover. Yeah. Where'd you go to college?
I went to college at Towson University.
Where's
in
that?
Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just right by where I grew up. And I left early to come to LA in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you think about going to New York, though?
I didn't.
Right
so
there.
I really lucked out. So my dad was working for this spice company called McCormick.
Sure.
And his job took him to LA and they got him an apartment in LA. So I just took that as a way to move to LA and live with him for a few years.
Perfect.
So he was in LA for 4 years. I lived with him and just saved money.
Nice.
And then in 2019, he left and I moved in with some friends. So that's why I chose LA over New York. But I think I would have preferred LA anyways, just the weather and everything.
Yeah, that's my bag. I went to college in New York State, like, you know, just outside of, like just north of the Bronx, about half an hour in like Westchester County. And so I got to the city a lot, but I wasn't doing stand-up in college. And I really love the East Coast. My wife's from Boston. I still got a lot of friends in Chicago. DC is awesome.
DC has an amazing scene.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But I just like LA and me just kind of fit a little bit better. Though I will say if all you want to do is stand up, New York is undefeated.
Yeah.
It's the stage time, but also the audiences are weirdly discerning and you can really make you work on your shit.
Yeah, whip you into shape.
You know, like when I've gone there and I've had like half-baked premises, it's like I'm like, okay, I should have, you know.
Well, what I've heard someone say this, that the comics in the New York scene are trying to be comics, and the comics in the LA scene are trying to be celebrities. So there's that's obviously a massive generalization. It's an oversimplification.
Well, I think to extrapolate, they think everyone in LA is trying to be a celebrity.
Yes.
Where like nobody I know is.
Yeah, I guess in LA you'll go to mics and you'll see actors and actresses or models or whoever who their agent told them to do stand up. So the heart isn't in it, and it's very half baked. That's a very LA thing.
I wonder. You know what? I haven't been to those mics.
I was gonna say I'm more in the trenches than you are.
I don't really go to mics anymore. Yeah. But like, I will say, like, I remember when I first came to LA, you had a lot of. You know, I think I've talked about this in the show here and there, but that was the golden age of like Dane Cook.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of really lazy reps were like getting their handsome male clients and going, you should do stand up.
Yeah.
He's just getting booked in movies. Just go be him.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, feel whatever way you want. It's like, Dane is funny, you know, like, you can't just, it's not just,
you can't just replicate
not just any random handsome guy.
Yeah.
You know? It's crazy.
It's died down a little, but I feel like there was a wave of that. And I don't dislike him, but with Matt Rife, where I feel like when Matt Rife blew up in the LA scene, you saw a lot of Matt Rife clones, just good looking guys 100%. Doing crowd work. But he's great at crowd work. But
and Matt is a really funny guy. And it's like, that was one thing I remember, like when Maron was saying like, oh, he doesn't have an act. It's like, I did two, he had me along for like two of his big, you know, stadium shows. Yeah. And like, he has constructed stories and bits.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, no, it's not exactly true. He does a lot of crowd work for sure. But yeah, and he also, I mean, I've known Matt since he was way younger, and he's like Eliza.
Just generates stuff.
He's that guy you'd go to a show and like, well, Rife's here or so-and-so's here, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, not my bag, but he was doing like workout videos, like instructional videos where I'm just he's just doing everything.
It's good marketing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
No, he put out like 3 specials in 2023. Yeah. Like you gotta,
it's nothing. Yeah, I do give him a lot of credit.
Oh yeah, I like him. I think
it's definitely, a lot of people are just like, ugh, fuck that guy. And it's like, sure, okay, but there's so many better things to hate.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And he's a good guy and he's funny, but
I just feel like he's phenomenal at crowd work. And when I think crowd work became a trend partially because of him, with people
because of his viral videos,
and crowd work is a skill that not everyone has.
No.
I certainly don't have it. You never see me doing crowd work. I'm not good at it.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's healthy to know I'm bad at it, because there's nothing worse than someone who's bad at crowd work just doing it for 10 minutes.
Well, Nate had the funniest observation on it on his podcast, where he's like, everyone's saying do crowd work, and my crowd work, Nate Bargatze, he's like, my crowd work is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey, how are you? You're good? That's good.
Just polite small talk.
Nothing. You know, it's like you want to, you know, I'm the same way. Like I want to just get to my joke. If something happens, I will certainly talk about it.
Oh yeah.
You know, I had the stupid ballroom joke came out of someone being like I did a show before that one where they were giving suggestions, and someone's like, what'd you think of the assassination? I was like, well, that's the joke right there. That's the joke. You know, like there's not assassin. What? You know, it's a bad high school play with boomers and all the roles. But like, so it's like that I can kind of take and go. But it's like your point is really well made, because that is the new version where like Dane was doing movies, and then Matt has done like, you know, these ultra viral, you know, clips that made him this megastar now.
Yeah.
But it's in terms of the copies.
Yeah.
It's the same guy.
Oh yeah.
It's the guy that's in the gym.
Yes.
And is attractive, but there isn't a lot else there. His agent is just like, do stand up and do clips.
Yeah, it's the broy guy that doesn't get why Dane and Matt Rife are funny.
Right.
Like they just see the like good looking broy guy and they're like, bro, that's me. I can do that.
I got confidence.
Yeah.
Tell people to fuck themselves. Yeah.
It's like, no, there's so much more to it. No, everyone had, you know, Dane Cook, his special in 2006. That's one of the specials that made me want to do stand-up.
Yeah.
Because when I started, it was like the height of Dane Cook.
Sure.
So I'm definitely a defender of his comedy.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I think even, when David Cross was like, he doesn't really like me. He's like, he said the same thing I did. He's like, it'd be disingenuous to say he's not funny. He's not. Like, he is funny. You know, I just don't like that he
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I just don't like X, Y, Z.
Yeah, and that's my, like, the biggest problem I'll have with any stand-up is if they're just, you know, kind of being shitty and not like, we're like, where's the joke? Where's the story? Why am I watching you? I can disagree with you on a fundamental level. But if you're funny, you know, I'm going to defend you because that's one thing I love about stand-up is like, it is like Doug Stanhope said, like kind of the last bastion of free speech. You can say anything. You might get booed. You know what I mean? But you might get punched outside. Yeah. But you can say that
You can say it on stage and then we don't know what'll happen after, but you're allowed to say it. Where I think like Patrice O'Neal is an example
the king of it.
He's hysterical. There are so many Patrice O'Neal bits where I completely disagree with the point he's making.
Completely.
But it's hysterical, so it doesn't matter.
So funny. Yeah.
And I feel like that's good comedy, to laugh at something you don't agree with.
Yeah.
To me, that's beautiful.
And I feel like, you know, Bill Burr steers over there.
Oh, yeah, he definitely does. Yeah.
Where it's the thing of like, he wasn't afraid to share a thought that a lot of us have had.
I love the type of comedy. I think Patrice did this. I think Bill Burr does this, where it's like presenting a hypothesis where it's like, here's this thought I shouldn't have, but here's an opinion that is not okay to have, but I have it. And then here's me defending why I think that.
And that I've talked with Maria Bamford about this because I think she does that too. With like more women centric, like making fun of a certain kind of woman that is like frankly psychotic.
Yes.
But their whole thing is like, I have my life together. Like I'm so scared of that voice you just did. You know. But it you know about how. One big thing we both recognized in therapy and learned through therapy is you cannot control some of the thoughts that pop up.
Oh, not
you will
at all.
think everyone has thought the worst fucking thing at one point or another.
100%.
It's just a thought that appears. And so I'm not saying share all the thoughts, but like if you have one that's incredibly dark but hilarious, it's like you're kind of better served to just throw that out there.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, like
and it's interesting to hear. That's the interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's very vulnerable.
Yes,
to
very.
Be that. You know, I remember when at one point, for some reason, like, you know, I think everybody was kind of piling on him, and like, for some reason, I was at the Laugh Factory, and like Dana Cook was really trying to be kind of a villain and steer into, and he was just saying really gross, mean shit, and it was like, but there was no real joke there, and you're like, what are you doing?
When the meanness
and you could see it was a conscious thing. Where it's like, I don't think you're actually a mean dude, man. Yeah. You know, I think you're just trying to Richard III this thing. So it's like, you know.
It is weird when like the meanness comes first. And especially when it's like, because there are comics that are bad people that pretend to be good people. But it's weird to see a comic that you know is a nice person pretending to be a bad person.
It's a bad
It's
turn.
like, this is not you.
It's funny. I was talking with Jay Jordan on the live pod we did at Moon Tower, and he had the great point about, you know, and Austin comics get stereotyped for this. You know, some of it is earned, but like they try to start with the edginess and then try to put a joke with it. It's like, no, you want to get the joke first. Yeah. You know, and then if that joke happens to be edgy, then you go with it. Don't go like, it's like, how can I be a badass first off?
Oh, yeah.
And then,
how can I be cool and rebellious?
Like, we're fucking clowns.
Yes, yeah.
No.
I think the death of comedy is when someone wants to be cool. When a comedian wants to be cool. And there's nothing lamer.
I think everybody kind of wants to on some level.
Yes.
And as I've gotten older, the more I kind of stay away from that, the safer I am. Because it's just like when you try to, you know, an obvious one would be like, what album cover are you going to do? Are you going to look cool? You know?
Yeah. I've fallen victim to that. I've like chosen album covers. I'm like, I look cool in this.
Of course. It's your album cover. Like, you want to look cool. And I'm not saying you can't look cool, but
there's a line to it.
Yes, there absolutely is, where you kind of have to realize that. I think people thought my first album I was trying to look cool, but I was making fun of the whole comedian as rock star thing. That's why. That's why it's an almost exact copy of Bob Seger's Stranger in Town.
Oh yeah, this is Soak Up the Night.
Yes, exactly.
Not to embarrass your fan out, but I was obsessed with that album
in
high school to the point where me and my brother would play the owl joke all the time.
That's cool.
And I texted him about coming on this podcast. He's like, the owl guy?
Nice.
Yeah.
I had a guy.
Great album.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I had a guy in Dallas. We were in spin class together, and I was mad at him because he had the resistance all like too high the whole class. I'm like, of course you got the fucking high score. You're not doing the class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My dumb little hangups. And then I didn't say that to him. Then after the thing, we're like all sweaty. He's like, hey, where do I know you from? You have a joke about an owl?
Yeah.
I was just like, I forgive you. You're the best guy.
Yeah. Do you ever bring that back, or is that retired?
No.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing doing like a Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Where you just do your whole album again.
Yeah. An Eras tour.
But more to get the rights. You know what I mean? Because I have the rights to the jokes. I can do the jokes anytime I want, but I don't have the rights to those recordings. You know what I mean? I still share them, so I could just go,
This is me
greatest hits
reclaiming
thing.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Who did that? Chris DiStefano did that. With
I didn't know
all
that.
his albums, I think. But I'm like, I can't.
Taylor's version.
I'm so tired of those jokes. I might not be now, but it's like I'm such a different guy. And
I think that's healthy.
I used to yell so much too. Like I don't anymore. But it's it's funny the like you saying you listened to that and you and your brother in high school. That used to make me wince, and now I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because you're like, I'm so old. Yeah, but then it's like it's so rad to like meet somebody who's like a grown man who's like, I used to listen to it when I was a kid, and I get that.
I mean, we would play it so much. The owl joke, the Dalmatian joke. Oh yeah, yeah. Fantastic album.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. Who was it? I remember Jack Whitehall at like JFL a couple years ago was like next to me. I didn't know. I know him now. We're like friends now, but I didn't know who he was. And he played like a stadium. He like sells out everywhere in like London and stuff. And big comedy guy, star guy. And he's like, that owl joke though. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. Who are you? And you could tell he was kind of like, what?
I love the idea of the owl joke being your legacy.
Well, it's like the way he said it kind of annoyed me. It was like, that owl joke though. Like, though what?
Though,
have I fallen on hard times?
Yeah.
I'm not in
one good thing I'll say about Matt Braunger.
I'm not in the Jungle Cruise movie with The Rock, but I have a house.
Yeah. I love stand-up bits where, like the owl joke, where it's like spending 5 minutes on a silly topic.
Yeah. Well, and
where it's like you've been talking about this for so long.
That joke, like I owe kind of everything to it because that's what got me New Faces, and that's what got me like my then manager, now wife. She saw like an old tape of me doing that. We'd start working together. She's like, why aren't you doing this joke anymore? I'm like, I was sick of that joke when I left Chicago. And she's like, you start doing that joke again, but I would move this here. And I remember Kanane being like, you're doing this joke again? Why? Like, he was just like, this is bullshit. We were like, we were such like purists for no fucking reason. We used to do this open mic on Mondays where like we do a new 5 minutes every week or like try to like outdo each other, but more of in a celebratory way. And our friends like John Roy, who would do work on his craft. Yeah, he was actually playing clubs. You know what I mean? I'm like he's right. Yeah, we're wrong. Yeah, but yeah, we had this kind of chip on our shoulder, but. Like we were lucky in that we kind of were doing comedy in that real weird window where people didn't really care much about stand-up at the time. Yeah. It was, post the whole 80s boom, way post, like late 90s, early 2000s. And then it was kind of starting to pick up again, but we weren't playing clubs. We were just in bars and stuff. So it was kind of a golden time.
Oh, it seems like I feel like we're in a bubble right now, stand-up bubble.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to burst? Do you think like this boom will end, or do you think this is just gonna keep?
Well, I don't even know. Like I haven't really been part of the boom. I'm still. Yeah. It's like my tickets sell, but it's still a grind to get them out there. So it's like I don't know if I'm necessarily part of that. Boom, I'm sure in some regards I am, but I always think of how, again, Kyle, doomsayer. He was always like he's been saying that like stand-up comedy is 80s hair metal in like 1991 forever.
Oh yeah.
And he's been right and he's been wrong.
Yeah.
You just think it's gonna pop, and it's like, I don't know, because I think people are always gonna want to laugh. Like
yes.
if it's gonna pop, or if it was gonna pop, I would have thought it would pop with like, Don't Tell.
Yeah.
And the great thing about Don't Tell and Kyle and his amazing crew is that they will have the youngest to the oldest.
Oh yeah.
They have people of every age or race or,
different
gender,
levels of credits, of different levels of fame.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderland, because when you see these gloriously shot little 3-minute bits,
oh yeah,
it's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
And there are all these people, and I tend to go, I kind of know everybody. And that made me realize I'm totally wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Eddie Huggins was until I saw his
hysterical thing. Yeah, I also discovered
I was at
Don't
Moontower
Tell.
with him.
Yeah.
And it's like I saw him do like a 15-minute set. Had never seen any of the jokes. They were all incredibly brilliant.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my, he's like my dad's age.
Uh-huh.
He's like around like almost 80. It's incredible.
Oh, brilliant, hysterical.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I'm not going to say it's not going to bust, but I don't know exactly what that would look like.
I guess when I say bubble, I mean right now there are more comics than ever. Like the amount of people doing it. Yeah.
There's so many.
And I wonder if that will burst or if it'll just stay like that or increase.
I mean, I really think it's just kind of who sticks with it.
Yeah.
And some people are smart not to, and I'm not saying that to be an asshole. I just don't think the life is for everybody.
Oh, it's not. I've
known people that are funnier than any comic I've ever known, and they're just regular old person that's just doing a different thing.
Yeah. No, I feel like a lot of my friends that did stand up and stopped, they're the happiest people I know.
It's so sad.
They're like the happiest I've ever seen someone.
It's so true, man. Yeah. And I get really pushed and pulled with my own thing, where I want to be a little bit more like Eliza, but I want to be with my kid.
Yeah.
I want to be with my wife. The thing is, like, for example, the improvs in LA, or the main one, the Hollywood Improv, all the weeknight shows are promoters, right? And so they'll only get these big names or their friends. And so I won't get any of those, but the people that run the Improv are like, would you give us a Friday or a Saturday? And I'm like, I can't, because if I'm in town, that's for my family.
Yeah.
Or I'm on the road. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's like I've kind of had to draw this weird line.
That's healthy, though. I think that's a good thing.
I think it is, but it's at the same time, you kind of go, I would, I don't know, I can't say if I'd be better, but I would definitely have more perspective. Because you every time you're on stage, you learn. You always learn something. Yeah. You always even if you're like, I don't want to get on stage tonight. I hate my life. I hate what I do. Not that it gets that bad, but there are times where you just don't want to. But then you force yourself and you're like, God, I'm so glad I did. Because I learned this.
Well, you've been doing it so long and you're so established. Do you still feel like you learn things every time you go on stage?
Oh, without a doubt.
That's cool to hear.
Without a doubt. Because it's always similar, but it's always different. Maybe there are other people that would disagree with me, but I just always kind of find something else, and I learn something else. And I'll even watch clips myself and go, oh, wow, look at him standing there. That's, this is how I kind of present myself. And, So I think you just do. And I'm not with that thing of like, like George Carlin was like, you have to go up every single night. And it's like, yeah, but how realistic is that?
Yeah. Well, especially if you have kids.
Oh yeah.
Or if you're coming up, you still have a day job, or there's a million things that get in the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's honestly like a little bit, I'm not the night owl that like Chappelle is.
Yeah.
Where he'll just show up somewhere like 2 a.m. I'll put my wife and kid to bed and go to a show, and I'm just driving. I'm just like, kind of like a mild depression.
Yeah, like, what am I doing? I want to be in bed right now.
What is this life?
Yeah.
But then you get there and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you feel the energy.
Yeah, exactly. Do you go up a lot in LA?
Oh yeah, I try to go up as much as I can.
And you're like doing mics. You're like,
I do. Yeah. I hit mics, to try new stuff. And, I go on the road when I can, either as an opener or as a headliner. Or lately I've been co-headlining with friends on the road.
Like who?
I don't know if you know them. My friend Kadi Assad. She's a comic in LA.
Okay. I don't think so.
And we'll co-headline a lot, like do 30 each, and we'll just hit different cities, and that's a blast.
Great.
I love going on the road with a friend. It adds so much to it.
Yeah. I sometimes can take someone with me to open, and that's always great. You just pick someone. I typically will choose like someone local that seems interesting or whatever. But sometimes I can do that. But it's like Kyle Canadian and I do like the roommates tour every once in a while where we'll co-headline places, and that's always really fun.
Oh yeah. And Dana's taken me on the road a decent amount of times. Yeah.
That's nice.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's great. He still is just such an incredible writer and such a good presence on stage.
100%.
And has, opinionated, but doesn't have like the shitty ego, I find.
Not at all.
With some guys like his level and his age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's dudes that kind of get up there and, he has his frustrations like anybody, but
he's too humble for how talented he is.
Yeah. And, his whole story is so fascinating. We're both big scary movie geeks. So every time we go see,
me too.
This or that. Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. I feel like it's all comedians. I don't know why we love watching.
That is a thing. Yeah. I feel like most comics I know are also horror buffs. There's definitely a Venn diagram there.
Well, it's someone put it best, or like it's whether you're screaming in fear, you're laughing, it's an involuntary reaction.
Oh yeah. It's building suspense and then breaking it.
That's exactly right. That's it. What have you seen lately that you liked?
God, what did I just see?
You're
like, Hokum. Have you seen Hokum?
No, I haven't seen Hokum yet.
It's great.
Is it?
It's creepy, yeah.
Okay, I got to see that. Yeah. I want to see that and the Ready or Not sequel.
The Ready or Not sequel is great.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I thought it was even better.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
In my opinion.
Because the first one is like one of my all-time favorite.
Oh, the first one was a blast.
I just think it's so, maybe because I didn't know what to expect, but I loved it.
Yeah.
So
that's
good.
a great movie.
Okay.
But I've noticed, when you're saying the similarities, comedy and horror, I feel like that's why there's a decent amount of comedians that make great horror movies, like Zach Kreger, Jordan Peele. That's only two, but still.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah, it is.
One of them has an Oscar. The other one had like the biggest selling script of, the recent years. And stuff. So like, yeah, it's true.
There's an overlap. Yeah.
For sure. Like, I don't really, it's like, I'm trying to think of like my wife works in comedy, but she's not a comedian and she does not like them. So it's like, every time, like I can't, watch any of that stuff with her. So I have to go off on my own. It's always like, I always have to have my movie that I go.
My girlfriend, she loves horror, but she hates gory movies.
Okay.
So there's certain movies that I like don't watch with her.
Sure.
Where it's like, if there's a new Saw movie out, I'll see that alone.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like you got to do it right. I'm not going to watch something where it's just like, like torture porn.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Gore for the sake of gore.
It's got to have a reason. It can't just be like, we really wanted to,
shock.
Yeah.
Shock value.
Yeah. Like the Terrifier movies. I can't really, it's just too much.
They're fun, but they're a lot.
Yeah. It's just
I like those movies, but it does feel like every movie they're just like, are you grossed out yet?
Are you grossed out
yet? Did we get you? Yeah.
And I remember being halfway through the first one and being like, okay, maybe. But then I was just like, it's just and some people love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
I saw this thing on Twitter, like Terrifier director responds to critics who say the Terrifier movies aren't gory enough. And someone was like, who the fuck said the Terrifier movies aren't gory enough?
That's the straw man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's fucking made up. That's like what's his name? JD Vance always starts with an utter piece of freshly laid horse shit.
Oh yeah.
Saying, we all know this. We all know public schools turn your kids trans.
Yeah.
But that's why. And you're like, what? Back up. No one knows that. That's not true.
Yeah. Now, I saw this video that was breaking down how so much of what JD Vance does is him. It's almost like how it is with comedy right now. It's like him trying to get like a cool clip that like 12-year-old incels can edit where
Oh, that's so true.
where just like him on a talk show, like, I think gay people shouldn't exist, and it's made so for like some incel to like add rock music. And,
and he thinks it's such a dismount, but he's still coming off like such a fucking.
he has no charisma.
None,
like
man.
like Trump.
None.
We could go on for it. Terrible guy, but something.
Well, he can hold a crowd.
Yes.
He can be entertaining in his own
Vance
way.
has none of that.
None of that.
Yeah.
None of the charisma, none of the connection, none of the you got to hear this right now kind of thing. Holding an audience. That thing, somebody, I think it was Alex Falcone took that clip of him, the Mountain Dew thing, and where he tried to make a joke about how Mountain Dew, he's like every time I get a Mountain Dew, someone like, what was it like? It's like, I just like Mountain Dew. I'm not gay or something like that. Like some correlation where it was just like, I got to figure out a way to put down homosexuals.
Yeah.
There's no fighting that.
Yeah.
But I also love Mountain Dew. And he just made this dumb thing. And it got a titter but a laugh. And he's like, I love you guys.
Yeah. What else?
Did that fucking, what else?
What else?
What else is going on? Where's my notepad?
Yeah. Now, anytime he tries to make a joke, I remember during the election when he said something about crazy cat ladies, and then he was interviewed about it, and he was like, yeah, I apologize to cats. And it's just like, you have negative charisma.
No. I apologize to cats. And
he was so excited to say that too.
I ate on that one.
Yeah. Got him.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Let me cook.
Yeah.
Nobody says that, JD. Nobody says that about themselves. He keeps.
Yeah.
He's the worst. It's that, imagine being his kid and just being like, fuck.
He's the uncle who's like trying to quote memes to you.
Yeah.
Like just found out.
He's the uncle. It's like corny dads. We love them. Love a dad with a corny fucking joke, a corny dad joke or whatever. Or, but the minute that dad or that uncle tries to actually get these kids to think he's cool.
Oh,
really
pathetic.
He wants it so bad. Doesn't get it, and then is like, well, you guys are homos.
Yeah.
Something like that. Jesus, Uncle Jake. Why the fuck would you...
Yeah.
Dude,
let me cook.
Chris is gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not my fault.
Yeah.
Looking for... And just digging the hole.
Yeah.
And you're just like... he's the guy that like a 7-year-old niece be like, I don't like when he's at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Just don't
just
want
his
him
vibe
being here.
Yeah.
Like... It's worse than being like what a groaner. You know what I mean? That joke, dad, terrible. You're so corny.
Because you're right. That people love that corny dad joke.
He wants to be cool.
Yes.
That's the problem with all these fucking guys.
Yeah.
Elon, all those guys, they want you to think they're cool, and none of us ever will.
Yeah. They want you to think they're funny.
Oh, God.
I feel like that's a thing.
That's even worse.
Like they very desperately want to be seen as funny.
I mean, I'm biased. You're biased. It's what we do. But like, isn't that worse?
Yes.
When someone's like, hey, fuckers, I'm funny. That's so much worse than someone going, hey, fuck you, I'm cool.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, fuck you, I'm cool is terrible. That's awful. But someone being mad that you're not laughing at their terrible jokes.
Yeah. And that person having an immense amount of wealth and power.
It's so much worse.
Yeah.
It's so much worse.
It's like a billionaire that owns everything. Like, I'm funny, right?
Right, guys? Come on.
Yeah, come on. I am pretty funny.
Yeah. It's the guy on Good Morning Vietnam who's just like, starched and corny.
Yes,
and just like, shut up, man. And I'll forget that actor's name. He did such a great job. But yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So we love Elon.
Yeah.
So, and JD,
shout out to Elon.
They're great guys. Anything you want to plug before you go?
Let's see. I got 2 specials. I got a special on YouTube called All My Friends Are Dead. I got one on Apple TV called 10 Things I Hate About Drew. And I just recorded a new album called The Throwaways that Comedy Dynamics is going to put out, I think, this summer.
Oh, cool.
So plug in those 3 things.
Sick. That's great, man. Well, awesome. Congrats. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.